Welcome to RidgeLife. I'm Tim, and today we are back at the log home build site, and we have got to get a mailbox installed. Grandma Carol is all moved in, and it's time for her to start receiving her mail here. Now, to do that, we need to dig a post hole, and what better to dig a post hole with than a post hole auger, gas-powered post hole auger. This is a 63cc Eco ED630. It's not to be confused with Echo. Echo is a very popular brand. This is, I'm sure, a Chinese knockoff. Got it off Amazon. I'm going to unbox it for you here, right here. Go look at all the attachments that came with it. This was the huge set, big as I could get with all the attachments. Open it up, see what we've got inside. This is, again, a huge motor. Look at this thing. I love it. Looks like a Husqvarna almost. You know, I think Echo is red, isn't it? Well, this is like Husqvarna orange. It's probably a very, very close knockoff. But 63cc, and we've got up to a 12-inch post hole auger. Let's check those parts out. Also in the box is a mixing bottle for the 25-to-1. That's a 2-stroke motor oil to gasoline. We're going to use 89 octane gasoline in our post hole auger. And you pre-mix it up in here. Again, this is 25-to-1. You're probably used to 40-to-1 or 50-to-1 in most 2-stroke devices. Now this calls for 25-to-1. Very, very odd there. Comes with a tool accessory kit and, of course, the instruction manual. And then what we've got here are 3 extensions. Again, this was the kit that had all the accessories with it. That's why I paid as much as I did. But I've got a short, medium, and long extension. That way, when you start up here and you're digging a really, really deep post hole and you get down, you ain't got to hurt your back. You put an extension on there and you're staying at chest level. Now, speaking of augers, we've got a 3-inch, a 6-inch, an 8-inch, and all the way up to this huge 12-inch auger. Check this thing out, and 63cc is what you need to do something like 12-inch. We're gonna go ahead and head to the front of the property where we're gonna put our mailbox. Now, once we get there, I'll show you all the materials we're gonna need and get started on the job. So we'll see you there. Before we get into setting up and using our post hole auger, go over some materials we're going to need to get our mailbox installed. Going to have a 4x4 post. That's what the mailbox is going to sit on. May need a saw to cut it down to size. We've got a drill with a attachment for the bolts to get the mailbox attached to the 4x4. We've got some concrete. We've got a level to get the post level straight. Got a good trusty shovel, of course. Got a mixing pan for the concrete. Got some fuel. Got some 2-stroke oil, and we've got some water to mix with the concrete. So let's get started. In the toolkit bag, we've got several things. We've got a wrench with a Phillips screwdriver on the end. We've got a screwdriver bit that's got Phillips and straight. Slide that down in there. And of course, we've got a couple Allen wrenches for access for the gearbox and other accessories. And we also have an open-end wrench. Now, the instructions on this for this machine are not that great. I think they came straight from China, translated in English, but it says to fill the gearbox with 80 to 90 weight oil, 50 hours, change it out, 100 hours thereafter. I checked this thing over. There is not a fill for the gearbox. There's a drain, and the drain is right here. I open this up, and there is grease in there. There is blue, thick grease. So it comes packed with grease. You're good to go there. Now we just got to do our 25-to-1 ratio of 2-stroke oil with fuel. So I'm going to use 89 octane fuel, and if you look at the bottle right here, you can see you fill your fuel up to the 40-to-1 ratio, 50-to-1 ratio, 25-to-1 ratio. So we're going to fill it up to the 25-to-1 ratio, and then oil up to the top line. That gives us 25-to-1. Got our fuel up to the 25-to-1 line. Now let's go ahead and get the oil up to the top. There we go. That tops it right off. Top line there, 25-to-1. We can go ahead and get this mixed up and get it into our engine, and then we'll show you the startup procedure. So let's get this mixed up, ready to go. Pour it in here. See if we can get this done without spilling it everywhere. Again, I'm not going to make up too much because I don't think it's going to take too much to get this post hole dug. We'll just use one canister, get it in here, and then we'll do the startup procedure, which should be pretty easy. We'll push the fuel bulb 5 or 6 times to prime it up. There's an air valve over here. We're going to slide it forward to the choke position, and the instructions again are very, very bad. So I don't know if this is open or this is open. We'll go ahead and try it out to figure out which it is, and then of course you'll take it halfway once you get it started and then closed up once it warms up. We've got it primed up. Let's go ahead and turn the switch to on. Bring our choke over to full choke. I believe this is full choke because it should just get it primed up, and then we'll see if okay, took the choke about halfway. Well, that was pretty simple. Now let's go ahead and get some attachments on this thing and get to drilling our post holes for our mailbox. Looking at our 3-inch auger here, you can see the end of it has a drill bit like on the end with a hardened tip. You got a couple blades here that gets your initial dig in, and the auger itself will bring all that dirt to the surface and easily attaches to your motor gearbox here. Little cotter pin goes in like this, and of course the extensions extend that out, you know, so you don't have to bend over with your back, and you can put extensions into extensions. Now you can get a really, really deep hole with this auger and all these extensions. Again, this is simple enough. Just line up your holes here, get it lined up over there, slide that through, get your pin in. That's your extension on. Now we'll go ahead and get the same thing for our auger. Get the bolt out. We want to get it hole lined up. Once that's lined up, it should go right through. Put your pin in, and now we are ready to get this thing in the ground. Before you start digging your hole, you want to make sure there's no utilities in the area. So call your local utility company, have them come out and marked. I know that right here is a good clean area. I've got cable and pipes on that side of the driveway. I'd really prefer to have the mailbox over there, but this is the side we're going to put it on. And you're going to want to be the appropriate distance away from the road. And then once you do that, you can start. And I'm going to start with the small auger just for demonstration purposes. I'll move up to the bigger one, more appropriate for the 4x4 post. I just want to show you how this one works with this extension. So we'll get this started and see how easy this digs in. Got to turn the switch on, got the choke over. Go ahead and get it started. That thing dug down easy. I'm going to put my post hole excessively far in the ground just so you can see a deep hole. So I've got my longer extension and I've got the 12-inch auger, and I'm going with a 12-inch auger because I've got a 4-inch 4x4 post, and you want to go about 3 times the width of your post for your hole. So that'd be 12 for us. So get this in, and let's go ahead and get our post hole dug with a 12-inch auger. This thing will put this 63cc to the test. This 12-inch auger is as big as it gets, and that's going to really put this 63cc to the test, especially with this long extension. So I'm going to be about 4 foot deep when I get to this point right here. Now 4 foot's way longer you need for your typical mailbox post, but I got a 6 foot 4x4, and I'm going to go ahead and put 4 foot in the ground. That way you can see me test this thing down 4 feet, and I'll have 2 feet sticking up to put the mailbox on. You really only need 2 feet in the ground. So putting this to the test, we'll see how this goes. Again, you got to make sure you go up and down with it, and the extension is kind of hard when it's up high like this, but once you get down there, you're really going to like that extension, I'll tell you that. So let's see if I can get this thing started at this elevation.
y'all can see that that 12-inch was really working me good. But what it actually does, it drills a hole like 15 inches wide because you're working it back and forth. So I really don't need a 15-inch hole. So I'm gonna switch over to the 8-inch, which is gonna give me a great probably 10, 12-inch hole easy. Now we're gonna finish our 4-foot hole up with this 8-inch auger. Probably gonna give us more like a 10 or 12-inch hole anyway. So let's go ahead and get it started. You may still want to set a post hole diggers if you're digging a really deep hole. That way you can get it cleaned out nice and effectively. So we're going to do that now and see how close we are to 4 feet. Oh yeah, look at that. Get this cleaned out here. Man, we are deep. All right, let's go ahead and take a measure. See how close we are to 4 feet down there. There's 3 feet. So we got another foot to go, and we'll finish this up real quick and get our post hole in. That'll work you out, that's for sure. I decided to go ahead and just leave a 3-foot hole, nice and wide, cut a foot off the 6-foot 4x4, and that way I'll have 3 foot in the ground, 2 foot above to get the post, the mailbox on. But before I get into mailbox installation, I just want to give you a review of this. This thing did great. I don't see any, I haven't used it long term now, so I don't know how long it's going to last, but it did great for the job. All the accessories work great, fit together great. I will remind you, at 50 hours, go ahead and clean the spark plug off. It does say recommend to change the gearbox oil, even though this thing has grease in it, so I just make sure it has grease. The air filter is right here under this knob. The spark plug is right here under this cover, and of course, clean the air filter off every, if you're working on really dusty conditions, I clean the air filter off pretty often. So keep good fuel in it, take the fuel out when you're not using it, or put some stabilizer in it. But Eco 63cc post hole digger auger, pretty happy with this. Now let's get into installing our mailbox. I do like to put a nice bed of gravel down below the post. Now these are treated 4x4s, so they're made for ground contact. But I put a little bit of gravel on the bottom that helps drainage, keep any water off the bottom of the 4x4. Then we get the concrete and then dirt around that, build a little bit higher so the water drains off, doesn't collect around the wood, and that does for a very, very good sealed, steady 4x4 post. Now, that goes for fencing or mailboxes or whatever you're doing. Now, some people, when they do their concrete, which is perfectly fine, you put your bag of Quikrete, fast-acting concrete, whatever concrete you're using, Sakrete, Quikrete, and you put it in around, and then you pour water on it. And the directions say you can do that. I like to pre-mix mine to ensure it's going to set properly. Either way is fine. So today I'm going to get the post down in there. We got gravel, get the post in there, get the mixed concrete on, and then dirt on top of that, built up, and we will get this thing set. Once it's set, then we can get the mailbox put on top of it. Got our post about two feet sticking out. Go ahead and get our concrete. Oh, in our bag. Of course, you got to make a mess with it. That's 100% required when working with concrete. You got to make a mess. Of course, you take my word for that, guys. Got some water right here. Mix some water in it. Just want to make a nice mixture. Again, doesn't matter if you make a mess. That's what happens with concrete. But once I get this into a nice paste, I'll be able to pour this first batch down into it. Get all that powdery up there. You can see it turns really quickly. Now this is fast, that's fast setting. This is regular setting. I'm gonna have the regular setting at the bottom, fast setting at the top. Just try to get all that moisture down into the powder. You can see that works up really quickly. Very, very nicely. So you don't see any powder anymore. Water pretty much disappeared. And you'll get that water mixture. Again, you can just put the concrete down in, pour the water in on top of it. That's a lot of people do that. I personally don't. I like making a mixture. I can get my level, my post set perfectly. I'm pretty happy with that. All right. So, got my post fairly level. Let's check it out. come back. All right, there's level. Of course, you'll bump this whenever you get it concrete poured into it. But I'm gonna start off concrete on this side. Just do it all the way around, trying to keep it straight as can be. If you got two people, this helps a lot with two people, I'll tell you that. And I'll verify the level again here in just a second. I saw it just move just then, so you can move it around pretty easy. It's really a simple thing to do, guys. Don't be afraid of putting in concrete around fence posts, post hole, mailboxes. Really easy job. Now it's really important as you're putting your concrete in, pack. Any air pockets out of there, make sure everything sets nice and even. You know, see, if I wouldn't have dug such a deep hole, I'd have my concrete a little bit higher, but that's fine. Pack. Again, I'm gonna check my post level again here in just a second. Got everything set. Let's go ahead and check our level one last time. Tap. Looks good that way. Check this way. Looks great. Should be the same on all four sides. Perfectly level. Okay, so we're perfectly level here. Let's go ahead and go back to the house and eat some lunch. Let this set up. Come back, we'll put dirt on top of it. Then we'll get our mailbox put on. Back from having a tasty lunch, and looks like everything's set up nicely. This thing is nice and solid. We'll verify level again. Nice that way. Nice that way. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna fill this in with dirt now, all the way around it. Get it to where the water will slope off of it to keep it from staying on the wood. And then we'll start to mount our mailbox, which is really easy. We're using this plastic mailbox that slides over. A couple of lag bolts go in the front. Really easy to install. Installing our mailbox is very simple. Now that we've got the right height, we just got to slide this over, get it right on top of it, and then we get our lag bolts. Lag bolts go straight in. They're gonna go all the way into the board there. Straight in like that. Make sure everything's good. Get the second one in, and we will be ready. Awesome. On the back side, we're going to install this cover plate here. Get your screws, get it lined up where you want it, about right there. Get that one in. So simple. Get that one in. There we go. Now we can get the mailbox on the post itself. Now we simply just need to slide our mailbox into place. Get everything lined up where you want it. Then we're going to put our stainless steel screws. This thing comes with all stainless steel equipment, so slide that right there, push down, get this going. We'll get 4 stainless steel screws in, 2 on each side, and then we'll go to do our final stage, putting our number on the side. So let's go ahead and get these last ones in. Make sure it's down all the way. Get it on the right hole. That's why you hold the other one in your hand, just in case you drop one there. Here we are. All right. Get these other 2 on the other side, and we will almost be able to call this job done. Now, I will put the link to the auger in the description of our video here. And if I can find the link for this mailbox, I'll put it in as well. I did get the auger on Amazon, and the link you'll be able to select the smaller CCs, the larger CCs, the different accessories. You should be able to select it all from that same link. So if you don't want the same big one I got with a 12-inch, you just want the smaller one, I'll have the link there. So should make it easy for you to get your own. This thing, look here. You've got mail. This project turned out nicely. I like the mailbox. It's got front and rear access. It's got a paper holder for newspapers. The wood's completely enclosed. You can't see it. More importantly, I am happy with this Eco 63cc post hole auger. I'm not a professional fencer or any of that, so this Eco should do me just fine for the jobs I randomly do. You know, not every single day I'm digging a post hole. So if you like this, again, the description, the link will be in the description for the CC size you need and the extensions you need. I believe you can select whatever size you need for your job from that Amazon link. So if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. I'd sure appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to RidgeLife, take the time to do so now. I've got all kinds of things here on RidgeLife. We have rabbits and chickens. We built a log home, great videos on that. We have a barn tractor. We do hunting, fishing, all kinds of outdoor. We do product reviews and how-tos. So lots of things going on here at RidgeLife. So please subscribe if you can, if you haven't already. So until next time, I sure hope everyone has a blessed day, and go RidgeLife.